Racing again in the Eastern Cape on Friday. We will be on the turf surface. Looking forward to 8 races, and there will be a feature for the juveniles, the ladies slipper stakes. So small field but very competitive. We start off though in race 1, which is off at 12:30 over the 1,000-meter trip. It is the Welcome to Fairview Maiden Juvenile Plate, and it is for the fillies. Quite a competitive start to the card, and there are a couple with chances. I have elected to go with the numbers 10, 11 and 7. So I lead with the likes of Silent Observer. So unlucky last time out. She hit the front, she looked to have it all under control, as juveniles often do in front. She just lost her concentration, and as danger loomed on her outside, it was too late for her to fight back, and she ended up second behind the very good finisher that day, Catch the Cat. I do think that she is bordering on the win, and this could be her day. It really should be. She's trying hard. She will have to beat the likes of number 11, Take Control, who is a newcomer to the Eastern Cape, stepping out for the first time for the Jean Nel yard. This filly races off fair recent high felt form, and Jean does say the work at home is very decent. He is expecting a good run, so include her. Number 7, Lemon Pepper, her form is self-explanatory. 2 runs, 2 good placings. She should be right in the thick of things as well. Race 2 over the 1,400-meter distance is a juvenile plate, and here my first 3 selections will be 4, 1 and 2. Leading with Arctic Advance. He does take on winners here as a maiden, but he does get that 3-kilo pull, and he showed huge improvement last time out when running second to Peace in Our World. He really caught the eye that day. You could see in him how he had matured and his body had changed, and I do think we can look forward to more improvement from him. So although up against winners, I think he could get it right. One of the winners in the field that definitely catches the eye is number 1, A-Grade Marmalade. He left the maidens last time out when getting the better of Zac Pack Assassin off the back of some very consistent maiden form. He had not missed the placings in his 4 starts prior to the win, of which 3 of them had been second, so expect him in the fray again. His stable companion, number 2, Safari Blue, didn't quite get to grips in the Dahlia Plate with the step up in class as far as age group class is concerned, but it was over 1,200 meters, and I think he will enjoy being back up to 14 where he left the maidens with ease. Race 3 is another maiden plate over the 1,400-meter trip, and 2, 1 and 7 is how I see it going here. Some very interesting newcomers in the Eastern Cape, starting with number 2, which is Chocolate, and Chocolate runs for the Zetzman Oosthuizen yard off the back of some very competitive KwaZulu-Natal form. We did see on Monday that often the KwaZulu-Natal form looks strong and they just need a run or 2 to acclimatise. I'm hoping that's not the case for Chocolate, because this is the right place for him to score. Another newcomer is number 1, Mhlabeni, running for the Duncan Mackenzie yard, and this gelding relocates from the Cape. They've got no problem having their first run in the Eastern Cape, and Duncan does say his work is good enough to find quartets or off that. And albeit slightly erratic recent form, if he puts one of his better efforts in, he's going to be there. Number 7, Brave Star, runs out of the yard of Jacques Stradom. They've had a really hard time with the virus, but the horses do look to be swinging it, and this guy's coming along in the right direction. On paper, he appears well beaten last time out by Bling King, 8.5 lengths back. Remember, Bling King won by 6.5 lengths, so Brave Star was within contention with the rest of the field, and I do think that type of run again will be good enough to see him in the first 3 here. Sprinting over the minimum trip of 1,000 meters for race 4 is a fillies and mares maiden plate. Here are my numbers 1, 3 and 2. I think that After the Storm really ran well on local debut, which was also her poly debut, when finishing in second behind English Princess, just finding one better that day. I think that her grass form, with which she relocated from the Cape, is definitely decent enough for her to do as well on the turf, and I do think she's going to make a bold bid here. Number 3, Just So Easy. She has been campaigning in the maidens for quite some time, but one fact that definitely stands out is that she is at her best over 1,000 meters, and she is a regular earner. I do think this is probably one of her better chances at leaving the maidens, and she's not to be written off. Number 2, Time Off, showed really good improvement on her 2 local runs thus far last time out when fitted with the blinkers for the first time, and running over the 1,200 meter trip. She'll cut back to 1,000 here, but those blinkers have definitely given her a little bit more speed in the race, and with Cliffy Miller expecting another good run, she can get a look in. Race 5, and we leap up and trip to 2,400 meters in the classified stakes. Races 5 and 6 coming up, I do make them the two most competitive races on the card, and it's really hard to split a couple of runners here. I'm leading with horse number 5, and that is Crystal Stream, to beat the likes of number 4 Inner Space and number 8 Soho Spirit. Crystal Stream is way overdue to find the winner's box for the 4th time. She's running off some incredibly steady form, and she does do well over this type of trip. Definitely added to her favour here is that the conditions of the race do favour her, and as far as the weights are concerned, she is the best weighted in the lineup, even though taking on male opposition. She also carries a lighter weight in general than she has carried in her last 2 starts, which is always a help over these extended staying trips, and I really think that Crystal Stream could have her day in the sun here. One of her dangers, I do feel, is number 4 Inner Space, and perhaps asking a lot of him, as he is only having his post-maiden run, but he's proven without a doubt that he is an out-and-out stayer. His 2 best career runs so far have been over the 2,400 meter trip. In fact, it is course and distance that he left the maidens over last time out. Both of his runs over 2,400 when running second. That was won by Vision of Fame in an above average time, and his win last time out was also in an above average time for the class average of this event. So I think that does bode well for him, and even though having his post maiden run, it's the right field for him to be able to get a look in again. Number 8 Soho Spirit, she ran on Monday and she again held form, finishing in 4th. She'll be trying the trip for the first time, but I do feel it's what she's looking for, and also well in at the weights. Expect her in the money. Race 6, again a very competitive event, and here the fillies and mares 64 handicap field will line up over the mile trip. 16 is my pick for the win, to beat number 11 and 6, so that's all of Viva Pipa, Orford's Flash and Sarajevo. Starting with Viva Pipa, she's going to be some value in the running here, but I do think that the Visionaire mare is on the up again. She hasn't been doing her best of recent, but her recent runs have shown improvement, and I do think that could hint that she's coming to hand. She's well drawn here, she's lightly weighted, and I do think she's value in what looks to be an incredibly open lineup. Number 11, Orford's Flash, best draw line through her last. She needed it to start with, and also tried a new surface, having relocated from the Cape. It was a poor run, with all fairness, but if you look at her Cape form prior to this, if you take out her last run, you would make her a really good thing in this race. So I do think, forgive her for her last, disregard it, and she has the ability to do a lot better here. Number 6 is Sarajevo, and the trippy filly will be having her post-maiden run here. She does take on handicap company, therefore being up in class for the first time, but I think there's more to look forward to from her, and she did win over course and distance last time. She's needed her runs to find her feet. She has needed to mature, get that experience and learn to run, and it all came together for her last time out. I think she can move on up from there. Race 7 is our listed feature for the 2-year-old fillies, the ladies slipper stakes, running over the 1,400 meter trip, and it may be a small field, but it's definitely a very competitive one. I do think, however, that PE can reign supreme here, and I am going with the local horse number 4 Soundcheck to take victory ahead of the Brett Crawford trained number 3 Quick Breeze and the Snaith inmate number 2 Homely Girl. Soundcheck, a winner in her last 3 outings. Her penultimate was a listed event when winning the East Cape Fillies Nursery. That was over 1,200, and I really think that she did well to win that race, because in her next, when trying 1,400 for the first time, she found a whole nother gear, and I do think that this extra distance is what she's after. So a supremely good winner over course and distance last time out. Yes, she is up in class here, but I do think that she can maintain that unbeaten status. Plenty of respect for the Cape Raiders. The Cape trainers know how to bring horses down here to win our feature races, and number 3 Quick Breeze is definitely running in the right form. She's been brought along slowly, rested after her debut run. She really strengthened up with that rest, came out ready to win. Second in her first run after the break, she found that winner's box, beating Glitter in the Air in her next. and you've got to feel that she'll go on from there. So number 3, Quick Breeze, certainly for me a horse that Soundcheck will have to keep her eye on, along with number 2, Homely Girl. She's really also been right there, second on debut, fourth the next time out, and then a good winner last time out when beating Mercury Rising. Both these fillies also look like they are going to enjoy the extra this afternoon, which they try for the first time. Race 8, we round up over the merit rated 78 handicap over the 1400 meter trip. I think this is a brilliant field. There's some really nice form in this field. Does make it difficult, but does mean that it's going to be a good event. I'm taking a bit of a chance here, going with the horse having his first run out of the maidens in the way of number 12, Africa's Rock, and I'm going to tip him to beat number 2, Winter Tango, and number 4, Greek Fire. Now, Africa's Rock, this is post-maiden runs generally are up in class in handicap company for the first time, but I think he's really taking on a decent field as well, a decent handicap lineup. So it's going to make his job somewhat harder. He did, however, really show to have come on from his first run to his second last time out. He looks to know what racing's all about. He's got a wonderful turn of foot on him, and I do think the step up to 1400 is going to be interesting and very advantageous for him. So I do make Africa's Rock a big runner. The yard saying he's showing the work back home, and he is the type of horse that can follow up. Big respect for number 2, Winter Tango, who off a break last time out took on stronger in a merit rated 96 event. Here he's down to a merit rated 78, and with the yard expecting him to need the run, he still did his best work late to finish a decent fourth behind Step Lively, beaten only a length and a half. It was a run full of merit, and he should be very competitive here. Number 4, Greek Fire, won on local debut last time out, beating Gold Rock, whom he bumps again here, also a useful contender. And on that occasion, he really showed a nice turn of foot, strong finish despite being slightly slow away. And although he cuts back a furlong here, I think he'll have come on with that win, and we can expect even more from him. So lovely competitive field to round up race 8. The PA gets underway in race 2, which is a juvenile plate over 1400 meters. It will jump at 1:05, and I start off with the banker of number 4, and that is Arctic Advance. I do think, as far as the PAs are concerned, I'd be very, very disappointed if he didn't find at least third in a small lineup based on a really improved run last time out. Moving on to race 3, I go a little bit wider in the second leg of the PA, and my first 3 selections, all of number 1, Mklaben, and 2, Chocolate, newcomers to PE that look very exciting, as well as number 7, Brave Star, will be inclusions here. Moving on to race 4, and here the PA has another banker, this time in the way of number 1, After the Storm, racing out of the Cliffy Miller yard. I thought that her local debut last time out was very promising, and this is the right type of field for her to be able to find the winner's box. Race 5 and 6 coming up, very competitive fields, and I go wider in the PA. Here the PA gets the 4 selections of number 1, Take the World, starting to find his feet again. I do think this is a lurker over this trip. Number 4, Inner Space, has his post-maiden run, but there was a lot to like about the way he won over track and trip that day. Number 5, Crystal Stream, is the best rated horse in the race, and as a result I do feel racing off very consistent form has got strong winning claims. And number 8, Soho Spirit, also well weighted here, has no weight to carry with 51.5 kilos, and the yard do feel this is a distance she will enjoy. Also a steady performer, so all 4 go in. Another 4 runners for the PA in race 6, another open event on the card. And here number 6, Sarajevo, having her post-maiden run. Number 11, Orford's Flash, who I do believe better to disregard her local debut. Number 14, Tandikele, a newcomer from the Highveld. And number 16, Viva Pipa, looking to be on the up again, will all be included. Looking forward to the feature of the card, and looking forward hopefully to PE doing well. I do make number 4, Soundcheck, another banker for the PA. Rounding up a very competitive merit rated 78 handicap for all the right reasons. Lots of really pleasing form here, and I will include 3 horses to round up the PA, all of Winter Tango, that's horse number 2, Greek Fire, horse number 4, and Africa's Rock, horse number 12. The pick 6 will get underway in race 3, And to the PA numbers, starting initially with 1, 2, and 7, I add in 3, 4, and 5. I do think that if the newcomers go missing, the field really does open up. And horses like number 3, Clito, also a newcomer from Natal. 4, Jaspiro, who's been batting about the action quite regularly of late in the Eastern Cape. And number 5, Caligiro, who might just need it, but if able to repeat his last, are all horses with chances. Race 4 will see me stick with my PA banker, number 1, After the Storm. I'll take my chances with her in the pick 6. As I said when describing her for the PA, it is the right field for her to find the winner's box if she holds form and repeats her last. First of the open races, race 5, again PA selections 1, 4 and 5. Not enough for me for the pick 6. I further bolster up with number 2, Bush Fever, number 3, Baka, who has his first run in the Eastern Cape, and number 6, Hit for 6, who locally so far has only shone on Polly, but on the form he's running to can't be dismissed, must be respected, and has been included. Another open race, race 6, and the PA inclusions of 6, 11, 14 and 16 have the additions of number 1, Paris Opera, trying the ground for the first time but really ran on well over 1300 last time out. Number 8, Beyond Temptation, who's never far back and has met stronger than this. Number 4, Mistress of Means, who looks to be coming to hand again, jumps from a neat draw. And number 12, Purple and Gold, better than her last, are all horses that have upset ability here. I'm sticking with my local banker, taking on the Cape Raiders in our feature, and number 4, Sound Check, will be another banker for the pick 6. Rounding up in the 8th, I've got hopes of a big run from the post-maiden runner number 12, Africa's Rock, but do feel that he takes on older horses with form that needs to be respected. So in the pick 6, he will be joined by number 2, Winter Tango, 4, Greek Fire, and number 8, Gold Rock. As far as the jackpot is concerned, it only really differs from the pick 6 in the first leg, which is race 4. Here my PA and pick 6 banker is number 1, After the Storm. To be safe, I do cover her as far as the jackpot is concerned and include all of her stable companion. Number 2, Time Off. Number 3, Just So Easy, who really loves the 1000-meter trip. And number 6, Dances on Waves, who showed good improvement with the blinkers last time out. Regarding legs 2, 3 and 4 of the jackpot, they follow the same lines as the pick 6. To round up, my best bet, really hopeful for a big run from Soundcheck in race 7, and that's number 4. She'll be my best bet. She's a banker in all my exotics. And as far as value is concerned, I think race 6, a very, very open event. A horse like number 16, Viva Pipa, could just pop up to set a cat amongst the pigeons. Looking forward to another good day's racing in the Eastern Cape. I hope you are too.